Honey, is it on? Is it on? Is this thing recording? What's up, everybody? This is TS Madison coming to you loud, live, and always and forever in color from the Outlaws podcast. Today, oh my God. Y'all know I'm always excited about every guest that comes on my show. But I don't know if she knows how much I love her. I mean, I've told her a time or two or three. She is an immense talent that I've sat back and I've told Michelle Visage and also RuPaul. I said to Ru, I was like, this bitch that's the talent, you know? She's tore Drag Race down to the floor, honey, took all their money, honey, and then went on Broadway and took all their money. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jinkx Monsoon.
Thank you, Maddie.
Listen, Jinkx, is it still monsoon season?
It's annual, so.
You know, when they say it never rains in Southern California, it's always raining.
Well, you know, I chose a name that had a natural disaster in it, so now anytime it rains, people blame it on me.
They do.
You know, and then the witchcraft of it, you know, they have two reasons to believe it's my fault, but I don't tamper with the weather.
You just tamper with the witchcraft. That's all. I mean, because there's a song, Blame It on the Rain. That's Milli Vanilli, right? Yeah, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Do you know, before we get into it, I've been thinking all day about, and I even was telling someone right before this, just we've known each other a long time, and I have been on a long gender journey. And you are one person that just always saw me kind of like, you always saw who I'd be someday. Exactly.
I knew you were going to be a woman.
You were and it always felt like, how does Maddie know so instantly? You know?
So did you get the phone call and say, well, I'm a witch?
Well, it's special when you have friends. And of course, it's significant when she's also a doll, but I've had other friends who've just always seen me for who they were. They were just kind of sitting back, waiting for me to be ready to become her.
I knew. And so I'm so glad you opened up with that, because I got to ask you, have you had a sex change?
I mean,
no. I mean on your I mean on your ID. No, I mean on your ID. On your ID.
Is this all you?
Yeah. You mean this?
No. I changed my ID in Oregon, and then I was slowed down because it was taxes season when I was trying to change my passport. Now it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, you know, that I have one of each.
Really? Right? Because we are one of each, you know. Well, I don't think people really understand that we are one of each.
And because I lived my life as a gay man or a queer, non-binary person for like 35 years. And then the last couple of years, I've very distinctly been living as a woman. But I have like 35 years worth of that experience first. I like to joke that, you know, thanks to the estrogen, I now have the strength of an adult gay man and
a woman,
an adult woman.
Yeah.
So the strength of two adult women.
Inside of you.
I'm at least two women.
And two women. Yes. Here at the top of the show, you know, I know people know who you are, but I make sure that when people come sit on the sofa across from me, I don't want any humility. I don't want you to be humble. I don't want you to be thinking like, oh, I'm going to offend somebody because you're running your accolades down. This is your time to shine. So it's called the Talk Your Shit segment, where you run your resume from top to bottom.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You say, hi, my name is Jinkx Monsoon, and I am.
My name is Jinkx Monsoon, and I have been a professional actress for 20 plus years now. My first production, 17 years old, I played Columbia in a local theater production of Rocky Horror. Since then, I am the only drag queen to win RuPaul's Drag Race 2 times. I have broken box office records on Broadway in multiple shows. And I have appeared on multiple animated television shows as a voice actor, and in one very celebrated episode of Doctor Who in which I played the god of music. And in one episode, I was bumped up the ranks of Doctor Who villains. So that was pretty cool because that's a long-running thing, and to get folded into that batter was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was a nice check.
So I've done some shit. I don't know. I've won some things. I've got some awards. I got 3 queerties.
Run it down, Jinkx.
I was Grindr's Doll of the Year 2025.
Yes.
I think I beat you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You've been Doll of the Year every year.
Listen, I've been Doll of the Year for 48 years, honey.
Yeah, no, I think the things I'm proudest of are I'm a Broadway actress. I've won that competition 2 times. And I always wanted to voice cartoon characters, and I do that. And I have enough money to have 5 cats.
And 1 man.
We are legally separated. We've been separated for some years.
Wait, you said legally separate? You were married?
I'm still married. We're just what's the word? Emancipated. We're legally separated, but we're friends. It's all good.
So you haven't put him in a jar yet?
The point is, I'm available.
So you haven't put him in a jar.
Is that
yet.
a baby reindeer thing? Baby deer? I didn't watch that one. He's not in a jar, no.
No.
He's living his own life.
You know, because as a
but
witch.
he is British.
As
so
a
full
witch.
circle. Oh, I see. No, as a witch, I like to practice magic that isn't going to come back to bite me in the ass.
Honey, it never comes back.
If you put up your walls right.
It never comes
That's why you're wearing the eyes.
Always. So Jinkx, so I'm glad that you talked about how you're glad that you kind of like, especially what's going on with politics and stuff like that. Yeah. So on your passport, your gender marker it says M?
It's still M on my passport. And then I have a state ID that's like, it's my chosen name, and it says F. And, I was slowed down and I was very frustrated by it. And now hearing that they're like, it's just like, these are the things that so many people have been screaming for so long, and right now, trans people are being targeted, but we know it's been different communities in the past, and it's just nuts that we have to keep having the same conversations over and over,
And for us to say it's just nuts is really nuts. It's just nuts that we got to keep having this conversation.
So you've been dating with tits longer than I have. Do you enjoy dating by men? Because I think I found my target demo.
Okay, so you say by men.
By men.
I think that the men that I date are straight.
Yeah.
Because, that's what their identity is.
Yes. That's how they self-identify.
They self-identify straight. But do I think that they're straight? I think that they are genderqueer. Because queer doesn't mean gay. Queer means...
It's an umbrella term.
It's an umbrella term for everything.
I like to say, there's straight men, and then there's men who are transamorous. They are specifically attracted to trans women.
I want to dissect that too. No, okay. So, Jinkx, you've never which we're going to get to, because I know who you are. The people know who you are. But there's a segment of our show we call Talking Shit. I'm going to go back to that.
Okay.
But I don't want to lose this thought. You said they're called transamorous.
That is a word I learned from another trans woman, and it's because there's straight men who just don't see, they're, I like to call them extremely modern men, and they truly don't see a difference between trans women, cis women, anyone on the woman spectrum, right?
Yeah.
But that's a very small part of the straight male community.
Well,
that's where we're trying to get to.
Well, we think that's a small part, but like, here's the thing: I don't think that men get the opportunity to really express their sexual endeavors or their sexual identity,
especially if they stray out of heteronormativity.
Yeah, like they're going to be immediately judged if you. Growing up, I've watched a lot of men do a lot of strange things. We watch them in sports. There's a lot of homoeroticism in the locker room, on the fields. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've watched them squeeze each other's ass. I've watched them hunch on each other. I've watched them bump dicks. I'll just sit there and I'm like, girl.
But it's in the context of these societal approved situations, you know? And so, yeah, it's kind of when they stray out of that, there's a lot of men who would be more vocal about being attracted to trans women if they weren't so afraid of how everyone would treat them differently, you know? But it's like, what's frustrating is like, because they're not gay, they're attracted to the femininity, But
see, this is when we get to the gray area of like, we will never ever get people outside of what we understand to understand that.
Right.
Because for them, there's no there's no other color but black and white.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
It's either this or that. And it's not that, because like you said, you have 35 years of you living your life as a gay man. Mm-hmm. Even though I knew you were a woman.
Yeah.
I knew that.
And there were it wasn't like I was hiding it well. Wendy Ho, when my friend said to Wendy Ho, Jinkx has decided to let go of her last scrap of masculinity she's been holding on to. Wendy said, honey, that scrap of masculinity has been holding on to her for dear life. But it's a different experience when you decide it for yourself and you claim the identity yourself,
yes.
And I think where the conversation is heading is we don't really need to concern ourselves with, is a person straight or gay or queer. The goal is just be attracted to who you're attracted to.
Yeah, and then you don't have to label it.
But to get us to that conversation, we have to go through the baby steps of explaining everything along the way.
But Jinkx, no one wants to have that nobody wants to have that conversation. Everything is like, you.
Well, that's why I like people like you, because you just don't give them the option. You come in, you say who you are.
That's it.
An actor I worked with once, I thanked him at the end of the run because it was my first run in a show, identifying as a woman, and I was playing the female lead, and I said, you never treated me like anything other than the female lead. And he said, well, you never gave me any other option. And I had never thought of it that way, but it takes the people like TS Madison, who just tells everyone very matter-of-factly, this is how it is. And then we have the conversation. And it's kind of at this point where it's like, we exist whether you want to talk about us or not. So what are you proposing? We just disappear?
Right.
That ain't happening.
At all. I want to piggyback. You just said something very important. You just said something so important that I don't think that you even really, you grasped it, but you don't, you said it this way that it's so important. The man said to you, he treated you like the female lead because you didn't give him any other option to treat you like anything else. And I don't think that women understand that. I don't think that females understand that. Like, when men come into the space and they're having a conversation with us and them, if we don't give them any other thing to treat us as, that's all he knows how to treat is a woman. That's what it is.
I feel it's something that when you have to claim your identity,
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels easier to advocate for yourself because you've already had that big conversation inside of like, is it worth going through everything I'm going to have to go through? And then once you've already had that conversation, then you're like, you're ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not everyone's experience is the same, but I feel like, if you never have to walk in and prove yourself in your first sentence because factory settings were good for you.
Right, right.
It's like as a queer person, I have to walk in and be like, I'm queer, but that doesn't mean anything of what you know. It just means that's like who I date, but you got to get to know me as me because I don't fit into many boxes,
Right. Right.
And in the same way as being a trans woman, it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of got to walk in and be like, here's where I'm at, and this is what you'll call me, and that's that.
And there's no in between into that. And if you don't, I would disengage. If you don't, I'm not going to, because I'm going to present who I am, and who I am is exactly what you see. And if you try to make me something that you want me to be, I can't.
Right.
I can't be bothered.
I was just talking about this today about how my MO with people who don't want to have real conversations is to just disengage, like if you want to ask me a question and then really listen to the answer and not just wait for your turn to talk, or interrupt me because you really only asked the question so you could tell me how you feel about it. I'm just going to disengage,
I went on a radio show to promote a Pride that I was working at. And so when I was on a radio show, the gentleman he didn't clock me at first. And so he was, doing what men do that don't clock. They'll be around you, they were interested in your conversation. And then one of the women said, TS around, and then she started talking about my dick. And I was like, oh, listen, I love all parts of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumped right in it with her. Yeah, girl, because I want you to know you're not doing nothing. You're not revealing.
Yeah. Because if you're, like I like living as an open book because then no one can catch me up.
Yeah.
Right. I don't get pearl clutchy because I've already shared all the worst and scariest parts of myself.
Yes. And so you're not gonna get a gotcha, aha. And so
But did did the gentleman's attitude and behavior towards you change after that moment?
A bit, because you can't deny if your eyes saw it at first. That's what you saw.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't deny. You can't now go and be like, okay, well, you a man. Mm-hmm. You can't go and do that.
I think about completely different, but I think about the fact that my cats have only ever known me post-transition.
Really?
So I've got these two animals that I love and love me, and they've only ever known Hera, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's something special about new relationships and new interactions. Because, I think sometimes, sometimes people say things like, oh, it's so hard for me to make the adjustment because I knew you for so long, under these circumstances, right? And it's just kind of like, it's liberating when you don't have to have that kind of patience for someone to catch up.
But the thing about it is, he didn't know me, Jinkx.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't know me. And not only did he did not know me, he was he can't say that he didn't, I'm not saying he was attracted to me, but it's not
he was being more cavalier.
Yeah,
And here's the thing is, I think about this a lot, like walking down the street. Am I being paranoid? am I being paranoid when I think that guy made a face or this guy, his behavior changed? And the thing is like, maybe, but why wouldn't I be? Like, it has never been easy. If you're visibly queer, if you're visibly trans, if people look at you and can't immediately like put you in a box, then you're constantly wondering what every glance means. And then if you're someone recognizable, you're like, are they recognizing me because they're hot for me? Oh, are they looking at me because they recognize me? They're hot for me, or because they're clocking me? And that constant anxiety, of course, we're paranoid. Of course, we read every clue heavily.
Yeah.
Because we've trained ourselves to be that way, to keep ourselves safe.
I never thought about it. I mean, I think about it like that, but I never thought about it like, okay, well, girl, maybe because I've been on the internet a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And so people have seen me butt naked. Now they see me
I was
clothed.
just thinking about this today. Like, how, that's a thing about, that is just a matter-of-fact circumstance. So you have to go into situations sometimes not knowing, does this person know me from recent years?
Or from that, or this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've been so long. So, it's like a wave of stuff. So I'm like, so I wonder. And then, men are very tricky. Did you know you can get your PrEP for free? PrEP is a once daily pill that's up to 99% effective at preventing the transmission of HIV. Mr. makes it easy and free to get started. All online, no doctor's office, and no paperwork. They also provide free DoxyPep, a simple antibiotic you take after sex to help prevent certain STIs. Kind of like morning after pill for STIs. Whether you have insurance or not, Mister's got you covered in 3 easy steps. 1, sign up at Mr.com. 2, consult with a licensed doctor online. And 3, complete your at-home testing kit. Then your medication is delivered discreetly right to your door. It's safe, easy, and completely judgment-free. Protect yourself and protect each other. Sign up at Mr.com today. Men are very, very tricky. I want y'all to listen to 2 ladies talk. I need y'all to listen to 2 ladies talk. Okay? Men are very tricky. They play mind games with a lot of shit. Okay?
They think they're not. They think they're so simple, but it's like I think it's just sometimes they don't realize it themselves. They're just behaving the way every other guy behaves.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's mind games.
Yeah, mind games. But they're tricky because here's how they're tricky. They trick women, females, into thinking, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. And then they trick trans girls into, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. When all the while,
that's what they came looking for.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was on the dating apps for a couple of weeks because I couldn't take it. I could not. And I want to... Do you feel as a trans woman that men just assume you're a slut?
Well, that's a part of the...
And I'm like, I am. Yeah, but I don't want you to...
For sure.
I don't want you to assume just because I'm a trans woman that you can just walk up to me, show me your dick, and I'm going to
suck it.
Exactly.
That might happen. It
might, but it's going to be my choice. Yeah, not because you just showed it to me and I'm helpless.
It's a dick. Your dick needs help.
But I've talked to women who are not trans about this, about how I'm like, guys will hit me up, ignore everything on the prompts and the questions or whatever it is to start the conversation and just go straight to sex, right? And I'm like, so what's your experience like? And they say, well, they always end up asking for sex in some kind of coded way, but it's after asking me a bunch of getting to know you questions and pretending. And I'm like, oh, so they think we don't need the pretense.
Yeah, we don't need that.
I'd like the conversation first.
I mean,
I'm on the dating app. I don't always need it, but the thing is like I don't want them to assume that because I'm trans that I don't want it, you know?
Yeah. But again, these are the mind games that they do. These are the games. And so it's so hard being public figures and you hold like large platforms and you try to explain this stuff to your viewers. And a lot of times our viewers are female. Lots of times our viewers are female. They're adjacent to what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And this is like, you know, and you try to explain to them like, girl, men they're carnivores. They like meat. And they roam and they, you know what I'm saying? And if they prey on whatever it is, like they got to find like, how am I going? I'm going to get that meat. I'm going to.
Right. And this is the other thing I learned from the dating profiles though. And this is a big part of the mind games. Almost, like I'm talking 95% of the profiles. The man had a picture of him with some kid. And usually there's a thing saying, the kid's not mine, but there's a picture of him with a kid like his nephew or his cousin or something. And like him and a kid, so you know he's good with kids. Him and his vehicle, so you know he has a vehicle. And then depending on the state, him and his guns. And I'm telling you, like without fail, the straight presenting, the straight identified male profiles on these dating apps, 95% of the time, you'll see a picture of them with a kid, them with their vehicle, and then with their guns, or maybe them with their dogs or their cat. And these are all to show you
they're men.
What kind of man they are. That even though they're masculine and they're gonna drive a good car and they have enough money for whatever and blah 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 blah, they're still gentle enough to be around kids. And and it's like they're trying to convince you all at once that they're not one of the bad guys, in 5 pictures or less.
Or less. Yeah. Yes.
And then you read their profile and you're like, this guy seems so charming. Look at him with his cats. Look how sweet he is. And you hit him up and you're like, hey, I love your cats. I have 2 cats of my own too. And he goes, you want to come fuck? And you're like, okay, well.
Because I'm only interested. You may have 2 cats. I may have 2 cats, but I'm only interested in one pussy. I only want one pussy, honey.
And the thing is like, of course, sometimes I want that. But it's like, I didn't know how to get straight men to treat me. I didn't get to grow up a girl, so I want to go through the motions sometimes. You know what I mean?
Well, it's either you're going to do one or 2 things. Either you're going to stay silent or you're going to play the mind games with them bitches, because those motherfuckers be knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm. This is why bi guys have become, it turns out bi guys, hi bi guys.
Listen, them motherfuckers will. It's just the craziest shit. Like, I remember one time I was talking to this guy, Jinkx, and is my phone ringing? Because that shit is carrying on over there. I remember I was chopping up with this guy, Jinkx, and it was just like, I was like, I wonder if he would never reach for my pussy. Mm-hmm. He would never reach for it, like never reach for it.
Right.
And I used to have this thing in my brain, like, you know what I'm saying? Guys that kind of know, that don't say nothing, and either waiting on you to tell or either waiting on you to, either they waiting on you to tell or either waiting to pull a mind game or you like, why didn't you tell me? You know what I'm saying? After they got their dick sucked about 3 or 4 times. I think that I started writing like this thing down that I feel like that they do. Like I was like, okay, the ones that played the mind games, they'll never reach for your pussy because they know you don't have one. So they'll never reach down there for your pussy.
Mhm.
They'll always grab your titties, or they'll want to rub your titty. They want to, or they, you know what I'm saying? The ones that act like that they want to take you on a date, but then they want to take you on a date, but then it's just like, oh, something happened to my car. Can I come over? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like
It's
that.
all
Like,
the same. It's the same game. I'm talking about
It's-
the
it's like-
DMs on the apps. Yes.
it's just the mind stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, and so then it's just like, then you get in a room with them and it's just like, yeah, you know, they cuddle, but they rubbing your titty nipple or you sitting up and it's just like they put your hand on their dick or something like that. And this is like, you know what? Let me stop playing these mind games. And then you take your hand and you put it on your dick and be like, here, bro. Here, bro. And it's like, no, oh, guy, are you?
Yeah, I have not been in that situation because I've always said ahead of time.
I mean,
but that's nothing. That's like because I was going on the apps, right?
mhm.
And then now I've been dating bi guys who know me because they're adjacent or active participants in the queer community.
Mhm.
And that's why I've been like, you know, like bi guys who have been out for a long time, like we speak the same language more than me and a straight guy, right? But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because even though I've never experienced it, I've known dolls since I was 14 years old and I've heard all the stories.
It's the same story.
And it's so frustrating because it's like we could make each other happy if you weren't so scared of yourself.
So, Jinkx, I want to talk to you about your career right now.
Sure.
And like what
The fuck?
No, I have to say that I've watched, because you know I've been a fan. It's your first go round,
Mhm.
then the second
It's like
go round.
15 years or so now. It's nuts.
But you are successful from the franchise. You are extremely successful from the franchise.
Well, I like to say that, you know, a lot of us have been able to go and do really big things. And if you look at the people who have, it's the people who aren't afraid to work their asses off. Because I once my Broadway dream came true and Broadway started offering me roles and calling me in for auditions and stuff, that's when the real work began.
Mhm.
Everything was just training to get ready for doing 8 shows a week, you know? And we all have our version of that. So it's kind of like when you put in the work for a long time and then it happens, of course things start to avalanche because you've been chomping at the bit for years.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think Drag Race was one of the best things that happened for you?
I would say yes. Definitely my All-Stars run. However, and this isn't about Drag Race. This is more about reality TV. Overnight success, like going from anonymous to recognizable in an instant, very difficult.
Okay,
And
tell
they
me.
don't teach a crash course, right? Like I went from being only known in Seattle and Portland to all of a sudden people know me in Australia. And then there's the fact that they only know this TV version of you. And when they start to get to know all the facets of you, some of the things they don't like. And then you're like, but this has always been me. You know, they just didn't get to see it. And so there's this like mind fuck. And I think a lot more celebrities these days are talking about it because 15 years ago, all I remember when I would say things like, this doesn't feel natural, this doesn't feel normal. And people would say, well, don't complain about it or people would think you're ungrateful,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know? And then you see the celebrities who have been talking recently about the hardships. Like you see the backlash Chappell Roan got when she talked about it's a lot to go from being from being obscure to being someone everyone believes they know, just like that.
Yeah.
And then you can't walk anywhere with it. At this point, 15 years later, I know how to handle it. But when I was 24 and I barely knew everything about myself, it was a hard thing to get used to, because suddenly, I went from I would get notes on my performance from a director. That makes sense to me. But getting notes on my performance from 300 strangers is like, I'm not used to that,
Right. Did you know you can get your prep for free? Mr. provides 100% free prep and DoxyPep prescribed online and delivered right to your door discreetly. Whether you have insurance or not, Mr.'s got you covered in 3 easy steps. 1, sign up at Mr.com. 2, consult with a doctor online. 3, complete your at-home test kit. And then your prep and DoxyPep come right to your door. No doctor's office, no needles, no paperwork. Easy, judgment-free, and totally online. Head to Mr.com and get started today. So, you left, you did Drag Race, you won. Then you did All Stars, you won again.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how was it how was the second time different from the first?
Well, because they were 10 years apart, I felt like I had learned so much about myself. I had learned so much about the industry that I was in. And I had also gotten to this place. I was no longer drinking in All Stars, which I wasn't drinking like how I came to be known for drinking during season 5. In fact, I didn't drink or do anything during season 5 until the very last episode. And then that half a cocktail hit me like a sack of bricks. But so I was in a very clear head when I went on All Stars. I was much more self-assured. And I had created the Jinkx and Dela holiday show with Ben de la Creme. Mm-hmm. And this was something I was extremely proud of. And I knew I got to go back to no matter what, right? Having this kind of job security, knowing I get to go on Drag Race and I could lose and I'm still get to come home and do my stuff. That's a completely different mindset to go in versus if I don't do well on this, my chance at all my dreams coming true might pass me by and I'm going to hate myself for the rest of my life, And that's not really how chances work. If you really go for something, you're going to get more than one chance.
Yeah.
Because even winning season 5, I struggled a lot with bitterness and resentment of not going as far as I wanted to go in my career right away. And that's when drinking really kind of, it allowed me to get really, really poor me.
Okay, so the first time you won Drag Race, and it was monsoon season, and all the cameras,
yeah.
This is the beginning of the rest of your life, over and over, over and over.
This is what you wanted for the rest of your life.
And so this happens, and then it's just like, then the lights go out.
It absolutely, and it's so jarring. Especially, I like to bring up, it was no small thing that the person who was crowned after me was Bianca Del Rio, We had Monsoon season, but then we had Hurricane Bianca, And it was very much a humbling experience to be like, okay, I had my big moment, and now there's another girl. And I was so frustrated because I thought whatever didn't happen that year wasn't going to happen.
Really?
I was so certain, well, Broadway didn't call, so they're not going to call. you know? And I was so ready for it then, but I'm so glad it didn't happen then.
Then you weren't ready.
I felt ready, but there were so many things about myself that if I had taken my career any further, then I would have probably messed things up.
So, but I'm asking you this because I want to know.
I was too in the grips of alcoholism.
Oh, okay, all right. You was down in the Delta.
Yeah.
So, because I've always wondered, because I'm just a judge on the show, and I see the girls. And I see them on press tours, and but to win, because you didn't just win. You won and because I've seen girls win. I don't want to call any names, but I've seen girls win, but I didn't see the after.
Well, again, I think it's just when you know who you were meant to be. Like, one of the best privileges in my life is I've always known exactly who I wanted to grow up to be. And I always knew I wanted to be a redhead. I always knew I wanted to be an actress. And I always knew I wanted to be a woman. And I gave up on the woman part because I thought that they wouldn't let me be an actor and a woman at the same time. There was such a scarcity. But again, it's the TS Madisons, it's the Angelica Rosses, it's the Laverne Cox and Peppermint and all of these people who pried this stage open for me. I'm trans now because y'all didn't let your transness stop you from doing exactly what you wanted to do.
Yes, that's right.
Right? Like, that's why I'm a trans woman right now. Like, I was too scared that having that part of me affirmed would lose me the other parts of myself that I liked. And instead, it only made it all make much more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, when you so the second time when you won, the lights didn't go out.
And still haven't.
You say knock on wood.
Honey, I got a mortgage, so the lights could go out any moment.
Right.
With me just covering all my
bases.
But again, yeah, and the work has never been more full on, and I've never been happier because I get to do exactly what I always hoped I would get to do.
As exactly who you are.
Right.
Right.
And that's very different.
You have something special going on right now. It's called the End of the Race.
Well, yeah.
I like that. I was caught up in it.
This is a play that I think was written about. I think it made its Broadway debut about 10 years ago. We're doing it in London at the Soho Waltham. Google it.
With the Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah. But I'm playing Judy Garland in her final days and her final concerts before she passed away. And so I've played Judy Garland for laughs a lot, but this is to play it for the heart and for the harder parts of her story. And I'm very excited because I love acting and I love Judy Garland and I love portraying women who are important to me. But I'm also like, it's going to be dramatic. I'm going to be crying.
Mm-hmm. So you really get to show your range.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
So
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some range.
You got some range, honey. Some length and width to your capabilities.
Yeah, I don't ever want to leave comedy though. Like I choose comedy because I have so much fun making people laugh, and hitting people. Oh, Kumail Nanjiani, he and I did Oh Mary together. Here's a big movie star doing his first play ever. And every night he and Michael Urie, I don't know who started it, but they would tell the whole cast, let's go fuck them in the heart. And
he's like, let me make sure I didn't hear that wrong.
That's kind of what you're doing with powerful pieces, is like you're trying to get to the heart of, like, we're not all Judy Garland. We all haven't been through these experiences. But the things at the heart of what she went through, those are universal. Feeling not good enough, feeling manipulated, feeling like you don't know who to trust, feeling like maybe your best years are behind you. These are all things we can relate to, whether we're a performer or a woman or
just whatever. Yeah. Jinkx, I've always wanted to ask you this because I know. I wanted to ask you because I wanted to know. What is your religious beliefs now?
I don't believe in organized religion. I believe heavily in, I think everyone should have faith that they chose for themselves, and they should practice it first for themselves. And then if you want to gather with other people who also practice that faith, but I think it should all be self-determined. I don't think we should raise kids in a church. I think we should wait until people are adults and then let them find their path. I think raising kids with religion is how we get here.
Where we are right now.
Because it's just too easy. It's too easy when you look to one person to interpret the word of God. When you get everything from that one person, it's too easy for them to manipulate you. And that's just where I stand with it. Like, I have no problem with anyone practicing any religion, but I wish we all practiced at home. And like churches were for community events, but
right.
But like you have to have your own relationship with God. Or your faith. So I am a practicing witch, but I don't prescribe to any religion. But I do worship 3 goddesses.
Which ones? Which one? Which witch?
Hecate, Hera, and Hestia. These are 3 Greek goddesses.
Oh, I know who they are.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Who's your favorite Greek goddess?
Aphrodite.
I thought you were going to say Aphrodite.
The goddess of love.
You're wearing her hair right now.
Yes, yeah. Aphrodite, the goddess of love. But I do like Hecate.
Yes.
And I do like
She's
Hestia.
the road opener. And Hestia guards the hearth. And I very much, I don't know that I'll ever have kids, but I'm very much the mother of my chosen family.
So you like Hera?
Hera, yeah, I like Hera for the fact that she's the queen
of the gods.
I like Hestia for the fact that she takes care of everyone, and I like Hecate
because she's the guardian of magic.
Because she's the guardian of magic.
Yeah.
And I like alliteration, and that's Triple H.
So, is this something that you were raised in?
Well, my mother and my grandmother identified as Catholic, but we never really went to church or practiced Catholicism. I just knew some of the greatest hits. But they were also extremely superstitious. And my mom cast spells and did witchcraft all the time. She just tried to tell me the difference between, well, there's witchcraft with God and there's witchcraft with Satan, you know, and like.
And how do you differentiate it between the two?
You know, and then, well, that's how I'm like, okay, well, I don't think that God is like there for you to win the lottery, lady. You know? Like, I don't think God cares if you win the lottery. In fact, I think he'd prefer you not, you know, unless you're going to feed the poor with it.
Well,
is that what you're planning on doing, Mom? I mean, we're poor, but so, you know, anyway, so my grandma was much more of a practicing Catholic, but even she had so many superstitions and so many rules and so many things you can and can't do. And then my aunt, who was like very much my guardian and my mother, she practiced a little bit of everything. And she's the one who really taught me to form my own relationships with my spirituality and not worry about how they do it at church. and she practiced a little Buddhism. She practiced a little Islam. She still had her Catholic upbringing from my grandma, but my aunt told me it's really like, it really does, we're all having the same conversation with different words. So you find the way that makes the most sense to you. So I grew up with all these different understandings of Eastern religions as well as my own fair weather Catholicism.
So what do you feel that's more welcoming to you?
Oh, witches are one of the most welcoming communities. Like, witches are excited to meet other witches. When I meet other witches out in public, it's like seeing other dolls out in public.
Yeah.
It's and the fact that I speak publicly about practicing witchcraft, the witches come out of the woodwork and come find me.
And they're like, we love you.
And sometimes I don't know they're a witch until they're leaving and they go, blessed be.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, blessed be, sister.
Yes. So you say that openly and things like that. Like it's in your career, people are very funny when it comes to when you say something like, well, hey, I practice witchcraft. They're like, God. Have you received any?
Not really. I get, false assumptions. And I think there are enough modern day pop culture references for people to know what real witches in the real world are actually like. But here's the thing is witchcraft has already been packaged and sold to us in so many ways. Everyone's wearing an evil eye right now. That's witchcraft.
Wait, did you see mine?
Yeah. People wanting to know about their astrology. That's practicing in witchcraft. And Christians used to say that's all dark-sided witchcraft. And
it's all dark-sided.
It's it is all witchcraft, but also a lot of the things that Christians and Catholics. The thing is witchcraft was first. Paganism, Christianity came around and took the greatest hits from other religions and then created a new one. But paganism and all the roots of witchcraft were there first. And that's kind of what I like about it.
You like it? You like that it's older, it's more rooted, it's you can actually go out and touch a tree and say, honey, grow.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's the acknowledgement of nature that makes a huge difference to me. And I feel this way about churches. I feel that churches are so much about being indoors and being locked away in your little protective bubble. And it's shouldn't we be out there enjoying what we're talking about? Shouldn't we be doing this in nature, and welcoming the seasons? Because no matter who you believe in, it's all tied to the same thing. So we should be honoring Earth either as a goddess or as a gift, right? But this whole... we haven't been doing that for a while.
Right. And I think that this is why the country is in the state of affairs that it's in, because these people are really thinking that they're bringing on the Armageddon, the second coming of Christ. And let's just blow everything up and Jesus will come. And I'm like, this is y'all weird.
It's upsetting because my mom told me as a kid, my mom, from as young as I can remember, told me about the apocalypse and Armageddon, everything. I know so many doomsday prophecies.
The mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast, all of that. And the warning signs. And it might not look like what we think it's going to look like. And now that people are getting chips and, things implanted so that they can scan to get their food faster. My mom's like, that's it. It's it. And so I've been acutely aware of these things for a long time. But what my mom always said to me is just pray that you and your loved ones and all of the people don't live to see the end of days. And I'm like, that's a real practicer of the religion. it's not there to be like, yay, Jesus is coming. It's there to be like, y'all finally blew it up.
But even if, right. But even if you live to see, even if you don't live to see the end of the days, like if you read scripture, it says that, you're gonna be rose again and you're gonna
that and then the rapture, and it's like, aren't you kind of taking a gamble here? Because if you bring on the end of days and you don't get raptured, you're fucked, right? Like, are you so sure you're going to get raptured, right? And none of these people have a clean conscience.
Or a slave.
If they're making a profit off of their religion, first and foremost, like these rich...
Girl. You mean like J.K. Rowling? I saw you on Z-Way, and you went like... so viral from that Z-Way.
I wasn't expecting so many people to resonate with that. Like, I'm doing a Judy Garland impression, talking about J.K. Rowling as if I'm hearing about her for the first time. But I said exactly what I believe. Like, there are people who want to open the door for themselves, walk through, and then slam it shut behind them.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it. Like I feel like Caitlyn Jenner did everything she could to shut that door behind her. So,
I'm like, what do you think that she's
tried
doing?
Tried to deadbolt it.
What do you think that she's doing now? What do you think that she's doing? What do you
know.
think that she's thinking? Like,
the last thing anyone sent me about Caitlyn Jenner was her on Memorial Day in D.C. And she was like standing in the military graveyard and she looks around and she goes, well, it's Memorial Day. And then the video ends and I was like, okay. I guess this is where we're at. She's just stating facts.
Hi, it's Memorial Day.
Goodbye.
I'm stuck in Tel Aviv. Help me get out of Tel Aviv, Mr. President.
Well, what's so frustrating is just anyone who can see the plight of one group and not see how it applies to other groups.
Yeah.
Right? I don't understand TERFs, because even if you don't feel that trans women are the same as you, shouldn't, as a feminist, you at least care about the treatment of human beings?
Of humans.
Right. Like, you don't have to agree with everything, but now that you don't agree with me fully, I don't even get to be treated like a human anymore in your eyes. And I'm just kind of like, that's the part I can't get. Like, I've disagreed with a lot of communities, but I've never stopped treating them like people.
Right.
I treat them like dumbass people, but, they're still people.
Yeah. And girl, don't get me started on this shit. So, Jinkx, we come down to the end of the show. And
what?
Yeah, girl. we gotta convene later. I was under the blood moon.
How'd you celebrate the blood moon?
Well, somebody can't get to where they're going right now.
Do you know what I love about every time we get to talk like this? It's just, you're one of the only people I get to just really cut up in this exact way.
Because that's all I want.
I love it. I love it. Even before it was doll to doll, it was doll to doll.
It was doll to, because
that's very special to me.
I haven't seen you as anything else. Just like that man.
Special.
Just like that man said that you didn't give me any other reason to.
Well, and you know what I love, and this is what I'm talking about. Bye, guys. Some guys that I was fucking with. Fucking 15 years ago are still fucking me now. And I'm like, you just always saw me. That's kind of special, when you have a hookup that lasts 15 years.
Yeah, and still charge them though. Make sure you still charge them. Leave that money right there, baby.
Listen.
Leave that money right there.
We all have to survive.
So Jinkx, we're at the end of the show, and there's a segment that we have on the show. It's called Ban It, Bitch.
Okay.
And so, what we do is like we take a minute, and like if we rule the world, we come out and we say like, this is something that I ban. Like 1 week I ban people asking me about condiments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So right now, I want to ban. And so you watch me do it, and then you do it.
Okay.
And then I got to get you to do. We're gonna go back to the top of the show. I got to get you to do a talk your shit, and then we could just put it. So this is how. Okay, I want to ban. Hi, my name is TS Madison, and if I ruled the world, I would ban. I'm back to food again. I would ban places not putting a toothpick in the bag. Like, girl, y'all know that meat that y'all had over there, rotisserie, that's spinning around on that motherfucking circle thing, cooking that shit. Y'all know that shit was tough. You know that we got these human teeth, and like I've been sitting here for the last 30 to 45 minutes trying to get this piece of meat out of my damn teeth with my tongue. Why in the hell did you not put a fucking toothpick in the bag? You knew that meat was not right. I ordered steak. That shit looked like roast beef, and it was tough as hell. It was like jerky, and that shit is over here in this goddamn right tooth, and I am so over it. I'm tired of y'all serving this tough ass meat. I want to ban you bitches for not putting a fucking toothpick in the bag. Next time you give me some tough ass meat, and you know that shit was tough because you cut that shit up, put a goddamn toothpick in the bag, bitch, or I'm banning y'all hoes for the rest of y'all existence in the goddamn food business. Bye.
Beautiful.
You
might want.
I got it. I got it.
Did we get that?
Oh, she got it. Oh my God, I just got it.
You spoke your truth and it came out. I've talked about this before, but I want to ban cell phones. I want to ban cell phones when you are traveling from point A to point B, period. Unless you are looking at the map. People walking down the street answering texts. People driving answering texts and don't realize they're about to hit you. People getting in and out of elevators not paying attention because they're trying to do 3 things at once. I think people need to get back down to you're walking to the store, you walk to the store. You're not walking to the store and watching a YouTube video and texting with Ashley because there's other people out in the world and I'm not going to compensate for you not paying attention.
Well, how do you know they're texting Ashley?
Well, because that slut is texting everybody.
Oh, like he's doing right there? Supposed to be
How's she doing? How's Ashley?
Jinkx, okay, you know, I love you like a fat bitch love cake. You know you've always been a sister, a niece, a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan, a supporter. I would love to come to Edinburgh to see Into the Rainbow. And if I make it to London, I want 4 tickets, honey, you know, and I want to come sit on the front row so I can scream and yell and say, "Sing, bitch! Sing!"
You start joining me on the
over the rainbow. That's the Patty version.
Yeah.
Is it still recording? Honey, you bitches is still here. Make sure this is what you do. Get down there to www.patreon.com/Outlaws with TS Madison, honey. You got to tune in, honey. We still talking, child. A lot of y'all can't stay on for an hour, but the rest of y'all that can, come on to the Patreon. www.patreon.com/Outlaws with TS Madison.